Chapter 24. Matt leaned back against the headboard, a thick three-ring binder open on his lap. Beside him, Penny curled on her side, one bare leg casually draped over his. The weight and warmth of her limb made concentration difficult. "Find anything interesting?" Penny asked, watching him flip through pages. "Not yet. Just getting familiar with the format first." Joe had handed him two bulging binders earlier that day. The texts alone filled one entire binder and spilled into the second. Matt had decided to start with the emails from the Gods website, specifically those related to Raymond Zeus Merrick. As he flipped through the pages, he realized he was facing a username nightmare. Meow Kitty, Kellen needs sex, Hotbod, dozens of anonymous handles sending messages to Raymond. "What's wrong?" Penny asked, noticing his frown. "Nothing." Matt gestured at the pages. "Reading a dead kid's emails feels invasive." Penny shifted closer, her breath warm against his shoulder. "Comes with the job, though, right?" "Yeah," he turned another page. "Still weird." Matt continued reading, flipping methodically through message after message. Raymond's responses revealed a cocky, self-absorbed teenager drunk on his own popularity. What surprised him were the responses. Girls fawning over him, boys seeking his approval, everyone orbiting him like he was actually Zeus himself. Penny's finger traced idle patterns on his thigh. "Anything threatening?" "No." Matt shook his head. "No, I'm going to kill you messages in the batch I've read." "Did you expect to find one?" "You never know." Matt marked his place with his finger. "There's something else, though. Some of these girls wanted to meet him in person." "Like outside of school?" "Yeah, and they sent pictures." Matt flipped to a section where printouts of image attachments had been included. Most were typical teenage selfies, some suggestive, a few explicit. Problem is, there's no way to know who these people really are. "It's the internet," Penny said. "Anyone can create an email account as HotLips69 and claim to be a cheerleader named Brittany. Could be a guy pretending to be a girl, could be a student, a teacher, a parent." Matt closed the binder. "Could be a 350-pound psychopath named Bob. That's the risk." Penny rolled onto her back, staring at the ceiling. "You think he met someone online who killed him?" "It's possible," Matt said. "It's happened before. Someone creates a fake persona, lures the target, and—" He didn't finish the sentence. Penny frowned. "He was a teenager. They don't think of risks." "You do the same thing with your escort website," Matt pointed out. "No," Penny said, turning back to face him. "I don't do that. I operate on referral only. If Sarah hadn't referred you, we never would have met professionally." Matt raised an eyebrow. "Still risky." "It doesn't eliminate all risk, but it reduces it. Even with referrals, I take precautions. Screening calls, meeting in public places first, having someone who knows where I am." She leaned closer. "I'm careful." "You didn't do that with me." Penny smiled. "Sarah gave me everything she had on you. I knew exactly who I was meeting." Matt set the binder on the nightstand and slid down until they were face to face. "Careful enough to not get caught up in something like this?" "I hope so." Her eyes searched his. "You really think Raymond might have been killed by someone he met online?" "I don't know," Matt admitted. "But there are a lot of messages here. A lot of people we don't know about yet. And someone who'd stage a body like that." He trailed off, his mind flashing back to the motel room. Penny's hand came to rest on his chest. "Does this help my dad? Does it get him out of jail? No. Is he going to prison? I don't have a crystal ball, but I can't see a conviction." Penny climbed on top of him. "Are you ready for a break?" "Hell yes." Later, Matt asked, "What was your personal opinion of Ray Marek?" "I mean back when you attended Vista Ridge. Can you recall?" "I thought he was an asshole." Matt grinned. "That sums it up rather nicely. What else?" "He's a big asshole." Matt laughed. "But you interacted with him." "Of course. Did he take being a god as seriously as Hera? Back then, I mean. What I saw when I interviewed her wasn't an act. At least I don't think it was." Penny shook her head. It was just getting off the ground back then. It was still new. "Was Hera serious back then?" Always, Penny said, rolling onto her side and propping her head up. What do you know about the Greek gods? Not much, why? I had a class last year. I'm not an expert, but I learned a little about them. It was interesting. Hera was the wife of Zeus. They didn't have the best relationship. Zeus continually screwed around on her with mortal women. It made her angry and jealous. You're suggesting our Hera became jealous of Raymond and murdered him? Maybe. How do you explain Ed Black? I don't know. Maybe Hera wants to be the only god or goddess, Penny said. I think it's something else, Matt said. I have this gnawing feeling something is happening I don't understand yet. None of the puzzle pieces fit. For Matt, solving a murder was like putting together a puzzle. You fit pieces together until you had the entire picture. If the pieces didn't fit, you started over and kept at it until they did. He felt he was still missing a large part of the puzzle. What's next? Penny asked, indicating the binder. Emails from his personal account. Ready? She answered by adjusting her position to allow a better view of the emails. As he did earlier, before he started reading, Matt flipped through the pages for a general overview. Oh my God, that's Miss Potter, Penny said excitedly, leaning forward and punching a finger at a picture. Matt saw she was right. The computer text printed off pictures or attachments associated with the emails. The pictures they printed were in color, and this one showed a nude Miss Potter on her knees performing oral sex on Ed Black, smiling and giving the finger to the camera. Oh wow, Penny said. What does the email say? He turned the page back. The email was from Raymond to Miss Potter. It read, I didn't ask if you wanted to do it. Have you forgotten these? I need an answer now. If it helps, I'll throw in a couple $100 and a bag of weed. Penny nudged him. What's her answer? Let's find the beginning of this thread, Matt suggested, turning the pages back to the start. After several minutes of hunting, he said, This looks like it. He read, A couple of the guys and I are having a party on Saturday. You're the entertainment. I'll let you know where. Be there at 8. Her reply, Raymond, you promised to leave me alone. I don't want to do it. Raymond, I didn't ask if you wanted to do it. Have you forgotten these? I need an answer now. If it helps, I'll throw in a couple $100 and a bag of weed. Her, 200, that's it? Raymond, 500, all you can smoke and snort at the party, and the bag of weed. Don't be a greedy bitch. Her, I hate you for this. He's blackmailing her, Penny said. He's paying her. That's bullshit. She has to do it whether she wants to or not. She might as well take the money if she's going to do it anyway. Matt stared at the ceiling. What's bothering you? Penny asked. Raymond and Ed were big guys. Not huge, but big. They were also in shape, capable of defending themselves. Let's say, for the sake of argument, she figures out a way to incapacitate them. How does a woman her size haul around the bodies of two big guys? Why not use a dolly or one of those things the movers use? What things? Those things on 4 wheels. They place furniture on top of it and then push it around. I need a timeline for everybody, Matt said, thinking out loud. I'll help, Penny said. You tell me what to write and I'll write it. She grinned wickedly. We can play boss and secretary. I have some outfits I'm sure you'll like. Let's see what else we have here, he said, forcing his mind back to the emails. He looked up again. You know, this is the first I've heard about a party. That would explain the motel room. Several guys, a girl, booze, and drugs. But why rent it Friday if you're not going to use it until Saturday? Maybe something else was going on Friday night, Penny suggested. Another hour passed and nothing of importance reared its head. He indicated the other binder. Let's look at the text messages. The text proved more interesting, especially the exchanges between Hera and Raymond. Hera, you're acting common. Amy Gibbs? Seriously? She's only a freshman and plain. You keep humiliating me. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. Raymond, how are you humiliated? What's the good of being a god if you can't take advantage of it? Look at you. You have all those losers groveling at your feet. Do you see me getting upset? Hera, I don't fuck them. Raymond, maybe you should and get off my ass. Hera, maybe I will. Hera, Asshole, Raymond, whatever. The text between Hera and Raymond went back and forth from I love you to I hate you. Hera's emotions went up and down. Raymond's were consistent, self-absorbed. The alarm on Penny's phone chirped insistently from the nightstand. 8 a.m. She stirred beside Matt, reaching across to silence it with a quick swipe before settling back against the pillow. I should get going, she murmured, turning to face him. Set the alarm to remind me about visiting hours at the jail. Thought I might try to see my dad this morning. Matt nodded, already awake for some time. He'd been staring at the ceiling, mind cycling through the case details that kept him from truly resting. Worth a try. Penny sat up, the sheet falling away as she stretched her arms overhead. I'm going to take a shower and get cleaned up, she said. After I try to see Dad, I want to stop by the house and grab some of my things. You think they'll let me in by now? Should be fine, Matt replied, watching her silhouette against the morning light. Once they finish executing the search warrant, they won't care who comes and goes. Penny turned fully toward him, studying his face. Instead of getting up, she leaned down and pressed a soft kiss to his lips. Thank you, she said, for being so nice about all this. His voice faltered, the words catching in his throat. A small smile played at her lips. Now you're uncomfortable again, she observed, leaning forward to kiss him more deeply this time. When she pulled back, his breathing had changed. Should I bring something home for dinner? There's that Mexican place on Central you might like. I'll cook, he said, the offer surprising them both. Call me when you're on the way back. She studied his face for a moment, as if committing it to memory, then nodded and slid from the bed. She grabbed his discarded t-shirt from the floor and pulled it over her head before padding toward the bathroom. As the shower started running, Matt got up and retrieved the case binder. He sat on the edge of the bed, flipping through the pages, trying to focus on the investigation rather than the woman in his shower. But the sound of running water kept pulling his thoughts back to her and the complications she brought to his life and his case. Matt turned to Merrick's cell phone records, determined to pin down the victim's last known communications. The data was spread across his kitchen table in neat stacks. A tower map from the phone company, color-coded to show signal ranges, was taped to the wall, and he cross-referenced each call to determine not just who Merrick spoke with, but where he was at the time. It was slow, meticulous work, and Merrick's final activity narrowed the timeline. A text to his mother at 3:30 p.m. saying he was headed to practice, and a call earlier that day pinging a tower near the school. Matt flipped through school records. Both Merrick and Ed Black had class until 3:30 p.m., followed by football practice from 4:30 to 6:30. Merrick had attended practice, and that was the last confirmed sighting. The final cell tower ping matched the one nearest the school, consistent with him being on campus. Whatever happened to Merrick occurred after 6:30. Matt opened his laptop and pulled up the school's security footage, logging in with credentials from Scheinfeld. He worked through the videos, watching an endless stream of students, faculty, and vehicles. After 15 minutes, he spotted Merrick's tan F-150 leaving the lot alone. No sign of a tail, no passenger, just a teenager heading home after practice. He tapped a pen against the kitchen table, mentally walking through the sequence. The murder itself would have taken time. Decapitation was not a quick act. The lack of blood at the motel suggested it was done elsewhere. The body cleaned and transported with care. The maid found Merrick at 12:30 p.m., but it was unlikely the killer would risk dropping the body off in broad daylight. Early morning, perhaps 3 a.m., was a safer bet. If the body was delivered around 3 a.m., the murder and staging likely occurred hours earlier, sometime between 8 or 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. That narrowed the window. Based on alibis, Penny had been with Holcomb from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., a time frame that covered the critical hours. Matt pulled out his list of persons of interest and drew a line through Penny's name. The ones who remained were Officer Bernard Swift, Brittany Potter, Barbara Carter, also known as Hera, and Sam Patel.